Hello my friends, in today's video we will take a look at Sirui 23mm F1.2 for the X mount. Sirui is well known for making very solid anamorphic manual focus lenses. Sniper series primes are Sirui's first autofocus lenses for APS-C E mount, X mount and Z mount, available at a very interesting price point. In this video, we will take a look at the optical qualities of 23mm F1.2 in combination with a 40MP sensor in Fujifilm X-H2 and the features of this lens, and I will also talk about the Sniper series lenses in general. 23mm on APS-C translates to 35mm full-frame equivalent. It is a very versatile and neutral focal length. It offers a balance between wide field of view and emphasis on the subject. It is useful for anything from landscapes and cities to environmental portraits and even product photography. It is probably the most popular focal length together with 50mm, but some people find it to be maybe a little bit too neutral. F1.2 is a very wide aperture which offers the same subject separation and light gathering as full-frame F1.8. It also lets in about 33% more light than the usual f1.4 aperture on APS-C lenses. All three Sniper series primes are 92mm long, which is great for gimbal work. Considering that these are f1.2 lenses, I would say that the size is okay. 23mm weighs 380 grams. That is almost the same as Fujifilm's 23mm f1.4, so I am very happy with that. Mounted on the X-H2, the combination is not too front heavy, the balance is very good, and there is enough space between the lens and the grip. The build quality is very solid. I'm actually not sure whether the outer construction is metal or plastic because of the paint, but it feels very sturdy and I can say premium. As you can see, this is the white version. Sniper series lenses are also available in black and silver. The mount is metal, but unfortunately there is no weather sealing gasket around the mount. On the other hand, there is USB-C connector for firmware update. A lens hood is included in the box. It is a normal plastic lens hood, it does the job and the size is adequate, so no complaints here. It uses a standard 58mm filter thread. It is a common size, but I would suggest getting 58 to 67mm step-up ring and using 67mm filters. You will be able to use those on a wider variety of lenses. Regarding the control elements, there is just the focusing ring. It is sufficiently wide with a nice checkered pattern, so the grip is really good. It is completely smooth since it is focused by wire system and the resistance is on the lighter side. In-camera ring settings don't seem to be working at the moment, but I was able to do repetitive focus pulls pretty easily. So how about the optical qualities? As I mentioned, I have tested this lens with a 40MP X-Trans5 HR sensor in Fujifilm X-H2. This sensor is extremely demanding when it comes to the optical quality, so let's see how it works together. At f1.2, the image is soft in the center of the frame and the contrast is weak. It seems that the f1.2 is mainly intended for subject separation. f1.2 looks significantly better. There is a big improvement at f2 where we can see solid sharpness and good contrast, but also more chromatic aberration. There is further improvement at f2.8 where the chromatic aberration is basically gone, the contrast is great, and the overall image quality is excellent. The image quality stays excellent from f2.8 to 8. There is some diffraction at f11. The image quality in the corners is pretty similar. f1.2 is soft, which doesn't matter that much for subject separation, but it is not the best choice for other use cases. f1.4 looks very similar. There is not much improvement at f2 this time. f2.8 looks a lot better, but still not great. You will get very solid corner sharpness between f4 and f8. Again, we can see some diffraction at f11. In this case, Sirui used the approach where they offer a very wide aperture with image quality that is good enough for subject separation with the subject in the center of the frame, but you need to stop down for maximal image quality. At this price point, size and weight, it is a relevant approach, but it will only offer excellent image quality from f2.8. The real-world shots are actually quite nice. It works very well together with the X-H2. The sharpness and the contrast is really good when you stop it down a bit. The color rendition is very neutral, so it also works well with film simulations. At the time of the making of this review, the profile corrections are not available yet. There is visible vignetting at wider apertures, which decreases as you stop down up to about f4. There is also some barrel distortion, but I have seen much worse and it is pretty easy to correct manually in the Lightroom. At f1.2 you can get a lot of subject separation even at 23mm. All Sniper series lenses have 11 aperture blades. The rendering of the bokeh is exceptionally smooth and that is one of the main strengths of the series. Lower sharpness at f1.2 actually helps with it as well. If a blurred background is important to you, this lens won't disappoint. The still's autofocus is very similar to first-party Fujifilm lenses. Focus acquisition is basically instant, it is very accurate and there is no hunting. Low light and backlit subjects are not an issue either. It also works well in video. There are some smoothness issues in certain situations, mostly when focusing from close distance to infinity, but it is difficult to say whether it is an issue of the camera or the lens. I generally don't think that the lens autofocus will significantly limit the capabilities of the X-H2, so I am also happy with the video autofocus. Importantly, the autofocus is almost completely silent. You can just about hear it, but the in-camera microphone or shotgun microphone should not pick it up. The minimum focus distance is 30 cm, which translates to about 0.15 times magnification. That is below average for this type of lens. You also need to stop down quite a bit to get maximal sharpness at minimum focus distance. The amount of focus breathing is very low, pretty much negligible. That means that this lens is very suitable for focus pulling in video. This lens is not stabilized, but at 35mm equivalent, the in-body image stabilization in the X-H2 is more than sufficient. In the stills mode, you can get pretty low with the shutter speeds and still get very solid sharpness. Static shots and pointing the camera around are also very stable. To sum up, Sirui Sniper Series 23mm F1.2 is a solid entry into the world of autofocus lenses from Sirui. All three lenses are very well made, they share the same size, and the choice of the focal length makes sense. The point of this lens is basically to offer f1.2 aperture at a reasonable price and size. f1.2 and f1.4 are good enough for subject separation, and you will get very good image quality from f2.8. It seems that this lens is specifically tuned for bokeh quality with 11 aperture blades and lower wide open sharpness, contributing to exceptionally smooth rendering. All three lenses are very well made and the size is reasonable, but there is no weather sealing gasket. Importantly, it seems that Sirui also got Fujifilm autofocus right on the first time, which is definitely not the case with every manufacturer. Last but not least, the price of these lenses is very interesting. Considering that you are getting a unique f1.2 capability and that very nice bokeh, I can recommend this lens, as long as you are willing to sacrifice wide open image quality. So that's it for this video, thank you for watching, I hope that you liked this video and that you have found it to be useful. Stay tuned for more videos and maybe consider subscribing if you don't want to miss my future content. I appreciate your feedback in form of thumbs up or thumbs down. If you would like to ask anything or share your opinion, please do so in the comment section, and see you next time.